you'll find out he's one of the best teachers of offensive football and one of the best offensive line coaches I've ever had the pleasure to work with. Let's have a nice round of applause for Coach Deleone.
Thank you very much, Frank. That's awfully kind of you. I spoke at Tarrytown, New York, outside New York City last night from, I was supposed to go from 7 to 10, but I went from 7 to about 11:30. We got up this morning, I caught a flight from Westchester County Airport to Baltimore, from Baltimore to here, and I'm going to speak out in Troy, Michigan tonight. So, the thing I want to let you know is that I'm going to give you everything I've got here for 2 hours. And we're going to work awfully hard at it, and we're going to try to get done what you need to get done here this morning in football. Now, my topic in the brochure and what we're going to hold to is offensive line fundamentals. Now, we're going to talk the first hour about our run block progression, how we teach the drive block, reach block, etc. We're going to go into great detail on it. And this is one of those lectures where we'll get everybody around here and, get out here in the middle here and grunt and groan and coach. So that's what we're going to do. All right? The second hour, we can talk a little bit more about our all-purpose pass routes and our drop-back pass protection. Now, just let me give you a couple of introductory notes here as we get started. Number one, all right, we are a drop-back pass team when it's third down and pass. We're going to drop back and throw the ball, okay? But we run the option. We're an option team. We run the power game. We run the play-action game off the power game. So our drop-back game has got to be, number one, very, very simple, very all-purpose, and very easily adaptable to our quarterback, because he's going to have to do a lot of things in a game week to get ready. So in the second hour, we're going to talk more about a very, very simple approach to protection and a simple approach to the drop-back game, okay? Now, the first hour here, we're going to talk about offensive line run block fundamentals. I assume Coach Mueller talked about the pass protection. Is that right? Okay, so we now will talk about run block fundamentals. Now, just in introductory remarks here. Okay, now, I don't know if you can see this. Okay. Coaching the offensive line. Okay, I've had the good fortune I've coached in college football for 26 years. And I've had the good fortune to coach a lot of different positions. I was a defensive coordinator at Division I. I've been fortunate to be a head coach at the Division II school. I've been a defensive coordinator. I've been a special teams coordinator at Division I level. And I've been an offensive coordinator at Division I level. And I've been an offensive line coach. Without question, the best position to coach is the offensive line. And the reason it is because those kids are tremendously unselfish. They don't care how many carries they have. They don't care how many balls they're going to catch. Their mothers and fathers don't care about, when are they going to be featured in the offense. Okay? They are interested in one stat, and that's the team winning. And that's a great group to coach in today's football, believe me. Number two, as an offensive line coach, I just want to pass this on to you here. As an offensive line coach, I believe you have to have a plan of how you're going to teach fundamentals. I really believe this. Okay? I want you to come out on the field, and I want your players in the offensive line to feel that you are the best offensive line coach in America. Now, they haven't seen the rest of the coaches. All they've seen is you. So what I'm trying to tell our guys is this. They're going to come out and see that you're so well organized and you have a plan to teach fundamentals that they feel you're the best possible coach they could have. Let me give you a quick example of what I'm talking about. I coach the offensive line like they're junior high school kids. Okay, on our practice field, we have 5-yard squares painted on the ground. When we start pre-practice every day, our offensive line will be waiting on one of those squares to start practice. So it's not like as I show up out there, there's guys milling around with their chin strapped unbuckled, fixing their tape, hanging around. It's not like that at all. Every kid goes to a spot right on those squares, and that's how we start pre-practice. There's a plan. Right off the bat, the kid knows you're organized. Now, that doesn't take much, but it's just a little thing to let the players know you're organized and you have a plan. Now, that's going to set the tempo for the rest of the practice, in my mind. It's a very little thing, and we do a lot of our stance and start drills. A lot of our stance and start drills Court. Well, right on these squares, okay? All right, now, going back to the progression here. Number 3, we want to emphasize the mental edge. Your offensive lineman may not be as big or as fast or as strong as who you're playing. You can't control that. But I'll tell you one thing. Your offensive line can be the best offensive line in your league mentally. They control that. They control that. There's nothing at all that says that we can't be the best offensive line in the meeting room. There's nothing that says that we can't be the best offensive line on the practice field in terms of the mental edge. And that's one thing that we feel we control. Okay, number 4. Help your buddy get better in drills. That's one thing that I feel strong about. I really think that I'm going to take this thing off here. We talk to our players about, look, during our drills, you're going to have a partner. And there's no way that you're going to get any better unless you're going to give your partner a tremendous look. And you owe that guy to give him your best. Now, here's the key. When you go up there, he's going to give you his best. That's going to help us get better as a group, as a unit. And there's got to be some pride. We're helping each other get better. We don't want each one of our guys to kind of brother-in-law the deal. You take it easy on me, I'll take it easy on you. What we're trying to get done there is, hey, you make that guy work, he's going to make you work, and we're all going to get better. That's the philosophy. Another thing that if you ever come and watch us practice, we're very big on this factor right here, pre-practice. Now, our team is going to laugh at that. Our linemen are going to laugh at pre-practice. That ain't no different than practice. That's practice. No such thing as pre-practice. We go out there and practice. Now, the thing that they laugh about is we come out there to pre-practice, and then we'll go 15 minutes of hard work, and then we stretch for 15 minutes. So, but here's my point. Every job that I've ever had, I've taken the kids in my office one-on-one. First thing I do when I meet them, I bring them in, and I talk to them about my philosophy of coaching. And I bring them in that office, and I sit them down, and I say this. I don't know what went on here before, and I'm sure it was great, but I'm just going to tell you this. Here's my approach. We're going to go out on the field in pre-practice, 15 minutes before practice, and we're going to go to work. We're going to work on fundamentals. We're going to work on techniques. We're going to work on assignments, and we're going to go hard. Right off the bat, that's established. They hear that from me right off the bat. Years ago, when I was a very young coach, I went down to NC State. There was an offensive line coach there named John Marolovich. Anybody ever heard of that guy? A guy named John Marolovich. He's not coach anymore. He was unbelievable. One of the toughest, meanest son of a guns I've ever seen in 26 years of coaching. Never saw a guy like him. Mean. Those kids, they'd start practice at 3 o'clock. those son of a guns would be out there at 2 o'clock. I swear to God. 2 o'clock. 6 o'clock in the morning, I show up. He says, I call him up. He's a gruff old guy. He says, yeah, you can come on in. We got a meeting with him at 6 o'clock. He's showing the practice film to those kids at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting in the back of the room. I'm a young coach, 22, 23 years old. He is chewing their ass out. I'm saying, what the hell did I get myself into? I'm in the back of the room. I'm scared. But he was unbelievable. You talk about coaching fundamentals and techniques. It made a great impression on me as a young coach. Now, obviously now with the 17-hour rule, the 20-hour rule, we only get 15 minutes pre-practice. We don't do what they do. But my point is that's key. We talk a lot about toughness. I'm a great believer in the offensive lineman going the distance. Again, you may not be the biggest. You may not be able to bench press more than a guy across town that we got to play, but no one can be tougher than you. You control that. The other thing that we believe in is long distance running. I'm a great believer in that. That is a lost art in football today. Long distance running. Our offensive linemen during the summer, during the off season, I'm with them every Sunday. I show up in our field house every single Sunday, and those kids are going to run a mile for time. They're going to run a 2 mile for time. In the summer, they're going to run 2 miles, 2.2 miles for time. Number one, they don't like it. They don't like it. Those kids are going to the weight room and they'll lift their tail off. I think we have to go to all at the end. So you're going to have to kind of take notes, and then you're going to have to remember it as we look at the film. All right, now, let's talk about the stance. Okay, let's talk about the stance. People ask me, what stance should I use? What I tell them is, what's your offense? What's your offense? Because what stance you use is going to be predicated on what your offense is. The biggest example of that is in the old days when Oklahoma was running a wishbone. Okay, those guys would mean a stance that looked like this. 4-point stance, all the way forward. They were coming off the ball because their job description was to do that all day. Now, if you watch pro football, heck, a lot of times most of those guys are up like this. That's their stance. Or when they're down in a 3-point stance, they're like, you ever see pro football stances? They're ridiculous. They're like this. So their job description of those people is predominantly to back up and drop back pass. So based on what your offense is, you've got to make a determination what your stance is. Now, in our offense, and I don't know if it fits into yours, we are a balanced offense. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to throw the ball. So ours is a compromise. We are going to be in a 3-point stance, and our stance is narrower than most. It is also a balanced stance. We do not teach a stagger. We do not teach a stagger. And the reason we don't is I don't believe in a staggered stance. Now, I'll tell you one thing you can do in a staggered stance. You can push off that up foot and you can step with that foot like a son of a gun. But the one thing I don't think you can do is step with this foot. I don't think you can. Okay? So we, in our offense, our offensive linemen have got to rip inside on the option. They've got to reach outside on our zone option. They've got to pull outside on a lot of the options that we run. They've got to pull inside to trap. And they've got to drop back pass protect. So in order to get our footwork consistent, we've gone to a balanced 3-point stance. Now, our feet are going to be underneath the armpits, which is narrow. I don't believe you can step in a wide stance. Now, it's not comfortable. We don't tell the kids, get comfortable in your stance. We want them to be uncomfortable in the stance. We want them to get out of the stance. Okay, you're going to get kids that are going to get so wide, it's going to be plenty comfortable, but they can't step. In order for them to step, they've got to do this. They've got to hop to step. And if they're in a big stagger, all they can do is step with the back foot. Now, that may be good if you're doing that all day. We don't. So we teach a very, very narrow stance, feet under the armpits. we get down, we go by the numbers. I'll tell you exactly how we do it. You'll see it on the film. Lineman walks up. I go, ready, up. We're on the squares. Get your feet set. First thing you do is get your feet set. Ready, down. We take our forearms, put them on our thighs. I'll go hand out. And now what we want to see is the hand goes out and the offhand goes on the thigh. Why is the offhand on the thigh? We'll talk about that later. Now, the worst thing you can do right here is just plop your hand forward. Why? Well, your weight's forward. Because you watch the kid, when it's time to pass, guess what he's going to do? Now, if you're a defensive lineman and you're not looking for the weight on the hand, you're missing a big tip there, man. You have got to have a balanced stance. You can't give away pass or run. Now, our defensive linemen do a tremendous job of reading the weight on the hand. They go green or red. Green or red. So if they see a lot of weight on the offensive lineman's hands, they're going to go green, green, green. And if they see the weight off, they'll go red. That alerts the whole defense, hey, it could be a pass. So that's how noticeable it is. Now, the one thing I want to tell you here is in this point here, we want to sit back in our hamstrings as our hand goes forward. So I use the term stretch. I'll say stretch, and he stretches the hand forward as he sits back and he balances the stance off. His eyes should be up. The offhand is on the thigh, right here, on the calf. Okay, now why is the offhand on the calf? Let me get up here so you can see it better. Why is the offhand on the calf? The offhand's on the calf because in the fourth quarter, I don't want this hand over here and all the weight's over this leg. I don't want that. Number two, we want to see the punch come off the ball. We want to rip that hand back and then punch. And it's a lot easier to do from here. All right? So that is our stance. Flat back, look up through your eyebrows, narrow base, fairly narrow, not unnaturally narrow, but just feet underneath the armpits. Okay? That's key. All right, now we'll go stance and one step, right foot or left. Okay, we come to the line. Okay, we're here like this. We go ready, down, hand out, stretch. I do it by the numbers. And I'll go, go, left foot, go. Okay, what we're trying to do there is go stance in one step to get the explosion off the ball, to get the push off of the off foot, the drive foot. What they got to understand is what is propelling them forward is not just the step, it's the drive foot. The drive knee now has got to be in the ground. Now the drive knee in the ground, we're pushing off that drive foot. We're taking about a 6-inch step. That's very important to us. Okay? Stance and one step, right and left foot. You're working on the explosion with the hands. You're working on the chest on the knee. You're working on the 6-inch step. And you're working off, pushing off the drive foot. Okay? You know, guys always ask me, how can I get the offensive lineman lower? How can I get the offensive lineman lower? This is the drill. You have got to coach the chest on the knee, a flat back. Now this is a little different now than what's going on in a lot of colleges and pro football. You're going to see guys up a lot higher. You're going to see guys, you know, pushing and shoving. Okay, we're old-fashioned. We're coming off with a flat back, and we're coming off lunging off the football in the run game. Okay, probably because we're an option team, we can come off the ball. Okay? All right, stance in one step. So that's second progression. The third progression is we'll go stance and 5 yards. Right and left foot. Stance and 5 yards, right and left foot. So we're here, we're on our squares, we're going to sprint to the next square. Ah! Coming off screaming. Flat back. We do it all in the squares. Okay? Now, the next drill we do, we go into the shoot. And these are all going to be shoot progression drills. I need some volunteers here. Come on up here, Coach. Come on, Coach. You ready? Let's go. This is a sorry-looking offensive line. Look at these two guys. Holy cow. It's typical of the guys they get. You always get the guys in the offensive line no one else wants. You know, the guys the defensive line coaches don't want, the tight end coaches don't want, the linebacker coach don't want them. It's like the Statue of Liberty. You know, some of you're homeless, you're poor, you're downtrodden. That's what it's like. It's America at its best, the American ideals. Okay, I'm going to take a shot with you here, Kevin. Bend down. Get down on all fours. Okay, now, that's 6s, pal. Let's go. All right, now, get your face up here. Then you get your ass down here. All right, now, Greg is going to come up here, put your hands on his shoulders. This is in the chute. Now, we got the chute right over him here. I'll show you. You'll see this on film. And I wouldn't even have you do this, but they can't get the thing back and forth. But now, stay there. All right, now, we're going to have a board coming out this way. Now, what we're trying to coach here is very important. We call it the ISO drill. Now, what we're trying to get the kids to feel how low, what a flat back feels like. And we want to get your face up. And we want to get your ass down. Now, typically, the first thing he's going to do with a young kid, stay right there, the first thing he's going to do is this. All right, look what's happening. What he's got to learn how to do is this. Get his chin up. Are you ready? Now look, what you're going to do is just easy pressure back up with him when I say go. All right, ready? Go. Ass down, eyes up. Get your ass down. Okay, back. Now switch it. Switch it. Okay, here we go. Get your ass down and your eyes up. Now here's what you're coaching. You're coaching the flat back. You're coaching the eyes up. Ready? Go. Up. Get your eyes up. Get your eyes. Good job right there. Great job. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Overachievers. Okay, have a seat. We'll get back up here in a minute. ISO drill. Why do we call it ISO drill? ISO the neck up there. Strain that neck up there. Strain your eyes up. Now that is a very, very big fundamental to teach. Because when you lose a block, you watch your kids on film. What happens? Their head goes down, they go into the ground, their ass is up, and they go that way. You got to get your ass down and your eyes up. Okay, that's a big drill to teach that fundamental. I got a good picture of it on film here. Okay, next drill. Fit drill. We're going to fit our offensive lineman into a perfect blocking position. We are going to start teaching the block from the moment of contact backwards. Okay, that's how we're going to start teaching the block, the fit drill, from the moment of contact backwards. Okay, now what we want to get done here is we want to put the blockers in a perfect blocking position, and we want them to get the kinesthetic feel of the block. We want them to feel what a perfect block feels like. Okay, fit drill. Come on up here. You guys did such a great job. Take a drink of water. You want to drink water? Okay. I don't want to get sued. These guys may sue me. All right, here we go. Now, you're going to start again. Now, here's the deal. Get in your stance. No. Okay. Oh, it's a lousy stance. Get your feet under the armpits. Go ahead. Under the armpits. Turn your heels out. Bend down. Okay. Get your head up. Okay. Put your hand on your calf. Your hand on your calf. Get your butt up. Okay. Get a little tripod with your hand. Don't get off your knuckle. Get off your knuckles. Get off your knuckles. Okay, now, you bend down. Now, we're in the chute now, man. There's the chute. This is where he is right now. There's the chute. Now, just stay right there, don't move, you're doing a nice job. Now, what we're trying to teach here is contact is going to be made on the second step. So it's going to look like this, don't move. Okay, 1. Ah! I want to hear some screaming now. They're going to be screaming off the ball. Ah! All right, second step. 2. Now, I want you to get over here. Now grab my triceps here. That's a little further up my arm. Okay. Bend down more. Bend down. This is the guy you got to coach now, as is the case right here. This is the guy you got to coach. You got to get him low, and you're going to feel what a great block is like. Okay, come on back. We'll do it with the left foot. Get back. Okay, here we go. Ready? Now he fits in. Now, you want to get your face right there. Get it? And that's it. And we break. Go to the end of the line. Let's do it right here. Okay, here we go. We're in the shoot now. Gotta get low. Okay, ready? No, it's his drill now. This is not a defensive linebacker drill. Okay, here we go. All right, ready? Don't stagger your stance, pal. Here we go. Ready? 1. Put your hands back. Hands back. 2. No. Let him back up. Just what happened here. Go ahead, bend down. Now, once he's there, now you walk in. See the difference? Now you fit it in. Move in. Bend down more. Bend down more. Get your butt up. There you go. Bend your knees more. Just don't bend at the waist. Bend at the knee. That's pretty good. Okay? Left foot. Do it again. We do the same drill with our running backs. Same drill. Okay, here we go. Left foot now. Ready? Go! Too big of a first step. Do it again. 6 inches. Ready? 1. Bring the other hand back. 2. Now fit it in. Okay, bend down, bend down. Bend at the knee. That's good. Okay, good job. Give these guys a hand. They're really... We're going to take applications for the Special Olympics right after that. Tremendous opportunity there for you. All right, now, the fit drill. Okay, now, fit, drive, and arch. Fit, drive, and arch. Now, one thing you've got to learn how to do, when I was a high school player, I was an offensive lineman. I played for a great high school coach. But the techniques in those days are a little different than they are now. I was taught as a young offensive lineman to block like this. See if this is something that you may have done. Okay? Short, choppy steps. That's how I was coached. You don't block anybody like that. I've never seen anybody block anybody with short, choppy steps. What I see happening, it's like pushing a Volkswagen up a hill. So it's like this. It's more like this. Okay? That's what they got to learn how to do. Okay? So there's power steps. You have got to get this foot on the ground. Okay, right here. Then the next step. That's how it is. It's not short, choppy steps. You've got to push a Volkswagen up a hill. Okay? That's what it's like. So what we'll do, come on up here, Greg. Relax. Okay, the trainer over here. All right, now bend down a little bit. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to put them in the fit drill. Okay, there's a board right behind us now. So we're going to go 1, 2. Okay, now, when I say go, we're going to push a Volkswagen up the hill. Ease up on me. Will you please? 45 years old. Here we go. Ready? All right, here we go. Ready? They got to get that feel. They have got to get that feel. Pushing a Volkswagen up a hill. All right? So that is fit, drive, and arch. Power steps. Power steps. I got these all on film, okay, so you can see these. Now, we got the punch drill. We got the punch drill. Now, there's a big misconception when they liberalized the use of the hands. Okay? There's no one I don't care, in the NFL, the strongest lineman in the NFL, to the best lineman in high school, to the best lineman in college, there is no one, okay, no one who blocks like this. There's no one who's strong enough to just push a guy with their hands. No one. You don't block anybody like that. Okay? What we try to get our guys to do in this punch drill is, number one, we're now going to take them back one step. So it's going to be one. Now we're going to punch ourselves into the fit drill. Okay? We're going to punch ourselves into the fit drill. So it's going to look like this. Ah! Then a second now, here's what you got to get down right now. The back foot. Let me get up top here so you can see it. Ah! Now all the weight's on this foot right here. Now it's like I tell our kids, it's like diving in the swimming pool right here. The center of gravity is way here, and now we're going to bring the back foot with the punch. Ah! Like that. The back foot comes with the punch. And now what this punch is going to do is this. It's going to shock the defender. Just like this. Just enough so you can get one more foot on the ground. That's the whole purpose of it. So it's going to look kind of like this. Ah! Now I got a little shock here. I got to knock back. Then I got to get that on the ground. See what I'm saying? Now once you get this on the ground, then you try to get that on the ground. That's how you block someone. Power steps. But all that punch does is it shocks the guy. Shocks him back. Okay? That's the key. Okay? So, come on up here, Greg. Where are you from? Great. Okay, now on the, it's all in the shoot now. We now take them back one step. Okay, so it's going to look like this. I'm not going to hit you. Ready? Ah! 6-inch step. Now, right from here, I want to see a hellacious punch. I call it a knockout punch. Right now, you're going to get your fists, and you're going to punch that sternum just like this. Boom! Just like that. And you're going to go. You want to see us say go boom! Just like that. The knockout punch right there. Now, a couple of things to be careful of. Make sure your elbows are in tight. What they're going to do is, here's what they want to do, because they're undisciplined and lazy sometimes. They want to do this. That's not it. It's not it. Because he's being coached what? He's trying to get your hands inside you. Your elbows have got to be tight. You got to shock his ass back and get one more foot on the ground. Okay? Now, don't go anywhere. The next drill we do is punch and drive. Punch and drive. Now, what we're looking to do here is we're trying to now create the shock and then get one more foot on the ground. That's what we're looking to do. And now we're going to now simulate the drive block. So, here we go. Here I go. Ready? Ah! Now here's, so we do this by the numbers. I'm saying, well, this is going, I'm going 1. And then I go 2. Here comes 2. Boom! And now I'm going to drive the length of the room. Okay? So it's punch and drive. We want to create that knockout punch. Elbows in tight. Hands inside. Knock his ass back. Flat back. Eyes up. Butt down. The same thing you're coaching in the ISO drill. You're coaching a progression of teaching. That's what you're coaching here. Now, the next progression is what we call, we go right to the drive block. We go right to the drive block. Okay? With the right and left foot. Drive block with the right and the left foot. Come on up here, Kevin. Thought you were done? Okay. Good. Good. All right, now, bend down. Now, we're in the shoot. I'm in the shoot. And now we just go one-on-one drive block right now. One-on-one drive block right from here. Go! Boom! Okay? Right foot, and then left foot. Boom. Now, what I want to show you on the film is this should be an accumulation of all those techniques. You see what I'm saying? You should see the one step. You should see the fig drill. You should see the punch drill. See what I'm saying to you? You're coaching your ass off on those details while you're coming off the ball. And they've got to learn how to do that in the shoot. They've got to learn how to do it in the shoot. Okay, so we'll actually get in there and do it. Go drive block with the right foot, drive block with the left foot. And we're going to be physical. We're going to come off the ball. We're going to hit him in the mouth, right there. All right, now, finish drills. I want you to put another one down here. Right down, look at me. Block the linebacker and run, but before that, right above that, write the word strain drill. Strain drill. We're going to show you what the strain drill is here. This is the best drill we do. Probably the most realistic drill that we use is what we call the strain drill, and I got a good picture of it on film here. Not executed really well, but you can see the drill. Okay. Come on up. Both of them. All right, get over here. Get over here. I want you hip to hip. Like that. Put your outside feet back. Outside foot back. There you go. Now bend down. Okay, now what we do here is I'm in the shoot, and we'll have these two guys right here with a bag, with a shield. I'm talking about, a shield, you know what I mean? They got one of those round shields in that arm. He's got a round shield in that arm. Bend down. There it is. Okay? I'm in the shoot. Now, we're going to block one guy against two. And what we're trying to get done here is that in every one-on-one block, you come off the ball, boom, there's a stalemate. And the guy who can now strain will win. Now here's the key though with the offensive lineman, and they've got to understand this concept. If I'm going to one-on-one block that guy, eventually he's got to do what? What does this guy on defense have to do eventually? He's got to do what? He's got to look up and find the football. Okay? So he may come and jack your ass back, or he may come off and whack you, but eventually he's got to do what? Get his head up and look for the ball. If you constrain long enough, eventually you'll get him. Eventually you'll get him. But what they don't understand is how hard and how long you got to strain to make that happen. So what we'll do is, I'm in the shoot, and here's how you got to coach these two now. Coach these two. I mean coach these two. These two guys have got to be coached. They come off the ball, you're going to stone the guy. You're going to stone him. You're not going to let that guy move an inch initially. Now, as he's in the duration of the strain, eventually, ease up now. Ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up, ease up. See what's going to happen? The kid gets the feel of, That's what he's trying to do. Okay, so it's going to look like this. Right here. Okay, you got the drill? Take it easy now. These guys are rough. Bend down. Okay, here we go. Ready? Now it's a full-speed drive block, no one step. Ready? Boom! All right, now. Stop me earlier. Stop me. Ease up, ease up, ease up. Okay? Now these two guys have got to fight to keep their hip together. Get in it. They're going to fight to keep their hip together. All right, but I'm going to be down in here low like this. You see what I'm saying? I'll be straining against them. I can't move. That's pushing the Volkswagen up the hill. Okay? All right, man, thank you. That is a great drill. Now, we do that in no pads. No NCAA rules, first 3 days, you got no pads. We do that drill in no pads with shields. Probably do some in the gym Monday, you know what I mean? But you got to have helmets on. But no pads, we use that drill with shields. It's a great, great drill. It is the best drill that I know to coach stalemate, strain through the block. Strain every snap. That's what we tell our guys all the time. Strain every snap. That's key. Now, the next drill we do is what we call block the linebacker and run. Yes, sir. We're going to have a target on every block. That's an excellent coaching point. Come on up here. This is an excellent coaching point right here. Excellent question. Bend down. In every block that we teach, our linemen will always have a landmark. See, one thing about our offense is this, because I was an offensive lineman, was not a very good offensive lineman. Here's the problem I had as an offensive lineman. In a man blocking scheme as a high school player and a college player, I was told, you got that guy. Okay, that's what I was told, okay, which is fine. We still do a little of that, not much. But here's the problem with that. How do I block that guy if I got him? Okay? What if he slants inside? So what happens now? Okay, well, I better step my inside foot. Okay, so I step my inside foot. He goes out there. Well, now I'm falling on my face again. What it does to you, it makes you cautious. You don't know how to come off the ball. What we always do in our offense, we're either going to be in a down blocking scheme or a zone blocking scheme, basically. So in other words, if I'm stepping inside, okay, and he goes inside, I'll take him. If I'm stepping inside, he goes outside, somebody else is going to take him. If I'm on a zone blocking scheme, and I step here and he goes inside, I can come off the ball like a mother. I'm going to zone to the linebacker. If he comes outside, I'm stepping that way and I got to block him. You understand what I'm saying? So in our offense, our offensive linemen are running tracks. They're running tracks. So there's no, there's no lack of aggressiveness because, I step here and he went here. You know, they can come off. So with that in mind, my point is, we will always give our linemen a target. Outside number, outside bicep, inside number, inside bicep. We may go to the linebacker's inside leg. You know what I mean? If I'm the tackle in a 50 defense and I've got to take a zone cutoff on the backside, I give him a landmark of the linebacker's inside leg. So there's always going to be a landmark. Okay? That's a great question. Yes, I don't bucket step. I'm a lead step guy. Have you ever heard Jim McNally from the Bengals? Everybody ever hear him? He's excellent. Different philosophy, but he's a great. They're into obviously the bucket step. That's pro football because they're big enough, strong enough to do those kind of things, and the timing of the stretch play is a lot different than when you run an option on line scrimmage. Is another topic. Okay, now, block the linebacker and run. Any other questions on this before we move on? Okay, next drill. Block the linebacker and run. Okay, I'm in the shoe. I'm in the shoe. We're simulating a linebacker. He's about 5 yards off the ball, right there. Okay, now here's what I'm trying to simulate now. I'm in the shoe. On a snap of the ball, I'm going to come off at a cutoff angle. He's going to run. Turn your shoulders. Right here. Now, keep going. I'm going to take my shoulder, and I'm going to hit. Well, he's going to be shuffling first here a little bit, so just give him a target. Shuffle. Okay, right here. I'm going to take this shoulder, and I'm going to get it right here. Keep your shoulder square. I'm going to get it right here. Now, here's the coaching point here. I want to strain my neck back into the block, and I want to pump my arm. Let's do it this way for you. Go that way. Okay, slow. Okay, here we go. There I go. So, okay, now I'm coming at him. I'm going to be right here. Boom, keep running. Boom, I'm here. Now I'm going to strain my neck. Keep running this way. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? But this is a violent, you know what I mean? He comes at him. Now, don't run away from him yet. I'm coming right at him. I'm going to make contact here. Now run. Now run. Now run. Now run. But again, you understand the angle we're working at? We're working more at that angle. Okay? So what this teaches the lineman to do is you never give up on the linebacker. You keep going. You try to cut him off. Whether you're zoning him, front side, or zoning him backside. Okay? Thank you. Now, how much time do we have here? Anybody running this clinic? Where's Frank? Frank's in the next, for the first session? Okay, then we got another hour, right? I know who to talk to now. What's your name? Holly? Thank God you're here. Frank's trying to get some defensive plays over there. Trying to win another championship. All right, now, I want to show you one drill that I want to give to you. I don't have a picture of this on film, but, and really the darn overhead's not going to show it as well as I'd like. Just look at it right here. There's two tight ends. Okay, look down. Okay. One year, a couple years ago, can't get it all on there. A couple of years ago, I went to the New York Giants training camp when Bill Parcells was there. And they did a drill early in camp, and we kind of adopted the drill. We call it the Giants drill. Now, this is the next progression after you get done with the shoot drills. We have spring practice on Monday. The first day of spring practice, full pads. After our shoot progression, we're going in this drill, the Giants drill. Now, what the Giants drill is this. It is a hell of a drill. If you want a great drill for teaching a lot of football in a 5-minute period, this is a great drill for teaching fundamentals of football. What we do here is we have a huddle with two tight ends, an offensive line, and a quarterback. We have two huddles, okay? This is the defensive players now. Your defensive players are over there on defense. We break the huddle, and we'll say something like, reach right on 2. Okay? We break the huddle. Okay? Now, the center is right in the middle of the field. The right guard is split 5 yards from the center. The right tackle is split 5 yards from the guard. The tight end is split 5 yards from the center. There's tremendous space. The thing goes across the whole field. Okay? Now, we'll line up the defense just like that. With linebackers over the guards, tackles over the tackles, and outside linebackers over the tight ends. Okay? And now, the quarterback comes to the line, he'll go, blue 18, blue 18, hey, hey, boom, we go. Reach right. Everybody in that picture, right there, is reaching right. So on defense, look what's happening now. The left outside backer's getting reached. The left tackle's getting reached. The left linebacker's getting cut off. The nose is getting reached. Now the right guard's going to, well, no, we're reaching right. I screwed up here. I got to write R&L in my hand here. All right, now, you understand what I mean? We're going right. Okay, now these guys on the backside are reaching right also, but they're cutting them off. Okay, we come back in the huddle. Now, here's the key to the drill, though. Look at, before I go back in the huddle. The head coach got the whistle. It's a long whistle drill. And with the 5-yard separation, you can really get those kids to strain in 5, with a long whistle. Okay? All right, we come back to the huddle. Next group, while the whistle blows, I got the next group in the huddle. I go, okay, drive block on 1. Ready, go. Come to the line. We get down. Same splits. Now we just come off the ball, our inside foot, and hit them in the mouth. Long whistle drill. So we're straining. We want them to stab. We want to get their hands inside. Now, I'll tell you what happens, which is a great drill for defense. Okay, say that's a linebacker. Okay, I'm coming, it's a drive block, so I'll go drive block. Boom. I come off the ball full speed. This is one-on-one, man. This is a freaking war right here. Now, I'm on the inside number. Boom. I get my hands inside. Now, look what he's going to try. Get your hands outside. I beat you. Get your hands on my outside of my arm. Okay, now, try to shoot your hands back inside now. Okay, he's back inside. No. Yeah, okay, just go outside of my arms. No, but you get your hands inside, coming outside. Go boom, like that. All right, he's going to try to do this, okay? And then I got to try to get my hands back. You see what I'm saying? It's like that. That's how it ends up. All the kids are fighting to get their hands inside as they're straining. Okay? So in that little drill, the defensive guy's going to get reached right, cut off left, drive block. Now, after about 2 minutes of it, we put the tackles down over the guards, and we put the linebackers over the tackles. And we take the nose man, and we just stand him up. So now everybody's going to be blocking a linebacker. Everybody's going to be blocking a hard man. The 5-yard split is the key, so you don't have guys being thrown on top of each other then. You can't do this in close quarters because guys are getting flung around into other people's legs. Split them out. Get to 7 yards if you got one. And this is a hell of a drill to come out of the chute with. So we use that progression, we go from there. How much time we have? Okay, I want to get to the, yes, Russ.
What's the initial reaction by the defender?
He playing the head, reading the head. Just reading the head, there's no ball carrier. So it's great for teaching reading the head. That's all we're doing, there's no ball. So the linebacker's got to read the guard. And the tackle's got to read the head of the offensive lineman. You're reading the head on defense. But in that little drill, because the defensive guys are coaching block reaction and fundamentals before they get to this drill. Okay? And now they come to this drill, and it's a hell of a drill. Okay? I want to get to my film here. I want to then go to the next progression. We go to 3-station drill. We're going to do this on spring practice on Monday, man. We got a 3-station drill. Now we're going to give them different combinations with 3 people going. This is not a long whistle drill. Okay? Now we're going to give them drive blocks. We'll give them drive blocks. We're going to give them reach. We're going to give them double teams and kicks outs. We're going to give them zones, zone in the nose. We're going to give them all different combinations. All different combinations. Now the way we do this, we go right down the ladder. I'll stand behind this drill right here, and I'll go, go. I'll move over here, go, go. Then the GA will reset it. I go over here, go, go, go. So now we're getting added some combinations. Right there. 3-station drill. Then obviously, we then will get into what we call middle drill, which is just our fullback and tailback inside runs. Now we got a backfield in there. And then we progress to the inside drill, which is now our inside run plays against a defensive front. So that takes us through our individual and group period. Okay, any questions there? Yes, sir. Yeah. This is regular, normal splits. Now what we'll do here, we'll call play. We'll go, that'll be for us, I left 90. I left 90. I right 90. See what I'm saying? I left 18. I left 18. I right 18. See what I'm saying to you? So we can get the scheme against, in a very limited space, we can really coach fundamentals. And this is all filmed. And it's great film, great teaching stuff on this film here. All right, now, let's watch this film now. How do we do it? Where's our film people here? Yeah, I want to show this. Okay. All righty. Where's the plug? This is, where's the other plug? All righty. Okay. Okay, we're ready. All right, I want to show you the shoot drills.
Paul, wait till we get this thing in here.
Yeah, this is the last part of the segment, man. Then we're going to break and come back with drop back pass protections and base drop back pass routes. Is that what you want? Huh? Is that what you're looking for? That's what we got. Okay?
Okay, you know how to
All
work
right.
that one, George?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so. Okay, here we go. Here's the stance. Let me see if I can work this green one here. All right, we're in good shape. You got the lights? Okay, this is a couple of spring practices ago, but you can see the stance. Okay, now another thing I'm telling you, we're on the turf here, so I don't have my squares. I don't like, let me see if I can pause this thing here. I don't like kids in the back just milling around. I don't like it. They have got to kneel down on their square when I'm coaching the front line. And I got 3 lines. I don't want guys jacking around back there. They're kneeling down and they're listening to the coaching. This is pre-practice, first day of spring ball, a couple years ago. But you'll see the stance, and you'll see the, all right, I'm trying to get you a good picture of the stand. This is pretty good here this is actually pretty good. A little bit too much daylight under the heels. You can see the balance stance. You can see the hand on the calf. I like to see the eyebrows up. The left guard over here has a little better eyebrow up. This guy has the head down a little bit too much. I like the left guard better than the left tackle right here. A little bit, real good flat back. Notice the non-staggered feet right here, okay? The feet are not staggered. Okay, that's the stance. Okay, and after I go down each kid, I check out his stance, and then I'll let these kids get down on one knee. And you can see it's not very cold in Syracuse. Okay, here we go. Now the second line, notice the third line's back. And we just kind of go by the numbers. It's like junior high school. Down, hand out, stretch. Now watch how we lean back in the hamstring. We just don't plop our hand down. Now this is stance in 1 step. Go. Let's watch it again. This is freshman practice now, first day of fall. This is not veteran players now. These kids are 1 day out of your program. I've never coached these kids. It's the very first day a couple of years ago with these freshmen. No pads. This is stance in 1 step. I don't like a little too high, bend your knees a little more. Go. That's pretty good right there. Go. 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 Go right down the line. See what I'm doing there? Okay, we're just coaching a freshman lineman that we recruited in our preseason camp. You get 3 days by NCAA rule to get them before the rest of the camp starts. So I go right down the line. Notice the kids in the back on 1 knee. Okay, now we're going to go, I think this is stance in 1 step with the reach, I think. We're coaching like it's junior high school. Yeah, this is a reach. Okay, not real good. They're turning their shoulders. This is poor. Let me move on. I don't like to see this. It's pissing me off right here. I don't like it. Okay.
What do you do with the centers offhand?
We're in a 4-point stance with the center. So the center does not have an offhand, really. All right, this is the fit drill, and it's not very good. Again, this is the first day of practice. This is the ISO drill. I'm sorry. This is the ISO drill. Now, what's the problem with the ISO drill? What do you got to look for here? Butt down, eyes up. Look at this. See how the butt comes up? Butt down, eyes up. That gets it a little better right there. See it? This is the first day these kids have ever done this. Okay, butt down, eyes up. ISO drill. Okay? Now these aren't good. Look, see it? You see the problem right there? The butt's going to come up. This is, if you look at your film with guys falling flat on their face, this is the reason. Right here, look at it. Okay, this is, these kids are 1 day out of high school here. The same thing there. Look at a hump in his back. That's no good. You got to have an arch, okay, so you can see the good and the bad here. Okay, this next one here, I believe, this is terrible. This is really getting bad. All right, this is the fit drill, and this really isn't very good. Okay, now, he does get into a good position right there. Okay, now let me go back. I'm just trying to show you the initial drill. This is not done correctly. This is a high school kid right out of high school here. All right, first step one. What's bad there? Look at the butt. Butt's got to be bent. Knees got to be bent. Eyes got to be up. Back's got to be flat. Now, this is terrible. Now, the bigger problem is the guy on defense. I'm telling you, man, these are the guys you got to coach. He ain't bending his knees. He's got to get the guy lower. See it? See me trying to push him down there? Okay, now the kid does get in, that's about what you hope for right there. But the guy on defense doesn't know how to bend his knees. I'm going to tell you one thing about recruiting offensive linemen. If I look at a kid that cannot bend his knees, I can tell basically in a stance. If he can bend his knees in a stance, we're going to have interest. If he is a tight in the hips guy, we ain't going to recruit him. We're just not going to do it. Because you're always going to have problems with him. He's never going to be able to block. Never. Okay, here's the punch drill. These aren't real good. But again, these are kids. Pretty good arch. We do this little punch drill here just to get them to get the punch. There's one here that's pretty good. Let me speed this up a little bit to the... this may not be bad here. Let me see. I just wanted to show you we're isolating the punch here. Some of these aren't too bad. Okay, here we go. 6-point punch. Boom. Boom. That's not bad. That's not bad. I didn't put that drill in the sheet. You may want to write that in. 6-point punch. Now here's the one-step punch and drive. This is one-step punch and drive. This is a rainy day. The footing isn't good. Punt. Where's one step? That's not bad. That's a great first step. This kid plays for the Seattle Seahawks right here. Punch. Boom. Okay, let me speed this up a little bit, get to the next drill. Okay, now, I think this is just dry block now. Let's watch the whole accumulation of the progression now. Watch the progression. Now slow it down. Let's slow it down. See the one step? Punch. Now here's the pushing the Volkswagen up the hill. See it? Strain, strain. One more time. Watch it here full speed. This is dry block now. Yeah.